Welcome to HerBody Labs, where women's bodies tell their stories. Imagine waking up one morning feeling like your own mind has turned against you, irritable for no reason, overwhelmed by waves of anxiety that hit out of nowhere, or battling brain fog that makes even simple tasks feel impossible. You're not losing it, and it's not just aging. This is the reality for millions of women navigating perimenopause and menopause, a phase that's finally getting the spotlight it deserves in 2026. At HerBody Labs, we believe every woman's body deserves to be understood, supported, and empowered. Today, we're diving deep into the psychological side of this transition, how hormonal shifts reshape your mental world, why it's a window of vulnerability for mood changes, and, most importantly, how you can reclaim control. Buckle up. This isn't just information. It's a roadmap to thriving through midlife. This comprehensive guide is divided into 3 parts for easy navigation. Part 1. Understanding the storm, the hormonal and psychological landscape. Part 2. The real impact, prevalence, symptoms, and why it hits so hard. Part 3. Empowerment tools, management strategies, treatments, and hope for the future. Let's break the silence and arm ourselves with knowledge. Part 1. Understanding the storm, the hormonal and psychological landscape. Perimenopause, the transitional phase leading up to menopause, typically begins in a woman's 40s and can last 4 to 10 years. Menopause is officially reached after 12 consecutive months without a period, usually around age 51. But the real story isn't in the calendar. It's in the dramatic hormonal roller coaster that unfolds. Estrogen, the powerhouse hormone, doesn't just decline steadily, it fluctuates wildly during perimenopause. Levels swing unpredictably, often spiking and crashing within days or weeks. Progesterone, the calming counterpart, also drops unevenly. These shifts disrupt key brain neurotransmitters. Serotonin decreases as estrogen falls, leading to increased sadness, irritability, and vulnerability to depression. Dopamine and norepinephrine become imbalanced, contributing to mood instability and cognitive fog. GABA is affected by progesterone's decline, heightening anxiety and making everyday stressors feel overwhelming. Research from the study of women's health across the nation, a landmark longitudinal study, shows that perimenopause doubles the risk of depressive symptoms compared to premenopause. Late perimenopause often marks the peak window of vulnerability, where erratic estradiol levels correlate with the most intense mood disruptions. But hormones aren't acting alone. Vasomotor symptoms, hot flashes, and night sweats affect up to 75% of women and severely disrupt sleep. Chronic sleep loss tanks mood regulation, amplifies anxiety, and worsens depression. Midlife stressors compound this. Career pressures, caring for aging parents, children leaving home, or relationship shifts create a perfect storm. Recent 2025-2026 insights from the MGH Center for Women's Mental Health emphasize that sleep disturbances independently worsen health-related quality of life and elevate depression-anxiety scores in perimenopausal and postmenopausal women, regardless of VMS severity. A large-scale study of nearly 50,000 women found those with sleep issues had significantly higher depression and anxiety, highlighting how interconnected physical and mental symptoms are. Psychological factors play a huge role, too. Women with a history of depression, anxiety, PMSOS/PMDD, or postpartum mood disorders face higher risks. Genetic predispositions can make some more sensitive to these shifts. Social elements, like stigma around aging, isolation, or negative perceptions of menopause, add fuel to the fire. Celebrities are helping shatter the silence. Brooke Shields shared in her 2025 memoir how an on-set hot flash marked her menopause entry, while Gwyneth Paltrow described perimenopause as a roller coaster of hormonal changes. Oprah Winfrey spoke of brain fog so intense she couldn't focus on reading, her favorite activity, underscoring how cognitive and emotional symptoms intertwine. This isn't just hormones or midlife crisis. It's a biopsychosocial phenomenon. Biology meets life, stage meets society. Understanding this empowers women to stop blaming themselves and start seeking targeted support. The good news? This phase is temporary. Mood risks often ease post-menopause as hormones stabilize. With awareness and tools, many women emerge stronger, more self-aware, and liberated from reproductive cycles. Part 2. The real impact, prevalence, symptoms, and why it hits so hard. How common are these mental health challenges? Statistics paint a clear picture of a widespread issue that's historically underrecognized. Up to 40% of women experience significant depressive symptoms during perimenopause, per estimates from experts like those at Harvard and MGH. The SWAN study found psychological distress rose from about 21% in premenopause to about 29% in early perimenopause, with dysphoric mood jumping from 9% to 15%. Anxiety often accompanies depression. Studies show about 50% of women report notable anxiety symptoms during the transition. A cross-sectional review noted higher depression and anxiety in perimenopausal women compared to pre- or postmenopausal stages, with early perimenopause often the most severe for mood bother. Longitudinal data shows women are 1.3 or 1.7 times more likely to report high depressive symptoms during perimenopause than premenopause. These aren't mild mood swings. Symptoms include irritability and rage that feel disproportionate, anxiety manifesting as panic attacks, constant worry, or heightened startle response, depression with low motivation, tearfulness, hopelessness, or even new-onset suicidal thoughts, brain fog, trouble concentrating, memory lapses, feeling scattered, low energy motivation dips, and self-esteem crashes. Why does it hit so hard? Estrogen's neuroprotective effects wane, making the brain more vulnerable to stress. Sleep disruption from night sweats creates a vicious cycle. Poor sleep, worse mood, more stress, worse sleep. Psychosocial midlife burdens, career peaks, family demands amplify everything. Women of color and those with lower socioeconomic resources often face compounded risks due to systemic stressors. Induced menopause can trigger abrupt, severe symptoms, including grief and intensified mood issues. Public figures like Michelle Obama, Drew Barrymore, and Salma Hayek have shared how these changes felt isolating until they spoke out. Amy Schumer candidly discussed HRT for perimenopause, while Halle Berry admitted her ego thought she'd skip it, only to face unexpected shifts. The impact extends beyond mood. Untreated symptoms strain relationships, work performance, and overall quality of life. Yet, many women suffer in silence, mistaking symptoms for personal failings. Breaking this cycle starts with recognition. Perimenopause isn't a crisis. It's a transition that demands attention. Part 3. Empowerment tools, management strategies, treatments, and hope for the future. You don't have to white-knuckle through this. Evidence-based options exist, from lifestyle tweaks to medical interventions. 1. Lifestyle foundations. Exercise. Regular aerobic activity boosts mood, improves sleep, and reduces VMS. Aim for 150 minutes weekly. Sleep hygiene. Cool bedroom, consistent schedule, limit caffeine, alcohol. Address VMS first. Better sleep often lifts mood dramatically. Nutrition. Balanced diet rich in omega-3s, phytoestrogens, and whole foods supports hormone balance. Stress management, mindfulness, yoga or journaling reduce cortisol and build resilience. 2. Psychological therapies. Cognitive behavioral therapy shines here. CBT Meno protocols target VMS, sleep, depression, and anxiety with small to medium effect sizes. Group CBT or self-help booklets help reframe negative thoughts and manage stress. Mindfulness-based interventions show medium effects on anxiety and quality of life. These are non-hormonal, accessible, and effective for many. 3. Medical options. Menopausal hormone therapy, transdermal estrogen, plus progesterone stabilizes fluctuations, often improving mood, sleep, and cognition. Best for women without contraindications. Recent studies show benefits for depressive symptoms when started early. Antidepressants. SSRIs, SNRIs help when therapy alone isn't enough. Other. Emerging neurosteroids or targeted meds are in research. 4. Holistic support. Join communities for shared stories. Track symptoms to identify patterns. Consult specialists, OBGYNs, psychiatrists, or menopause experts. Hope abounds. Most women see symptoms ease post-menopause. With support, many report feeling empowered, wiser, and freer. At HerBody Labs, we're here to guide you because your body, mind, and story matter. Thank you for joining us. Share your experiences below. What resonated? What's your next step? Subscribe for more real talk on women's health. You've got this.